What Zeke Elliott needs to do now is get on the phone and call that old Italian chef, Ben DiNucci, and ask him to make some Italian wedding soup, because him, along with some Cowboy players and Houston Texans players, tested positive for COVID-19. You gotta wonder, what's this gonna do to the NFL season?
Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here. So today we have come with the hell is that? It's a big ass dog. Dallas still stinks.
Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Monday. I hope you guys are doing well. You know, I'm so excited about the NFL season starting up again. I cannot wait. I'm counting the days. It's been a long off season. Let's not lie. It's been a long 2020. It's been crazy, you know, and we just got to the point, we're just getting to the point where things are starting to open up slowly in other states, some more than others, but things are starting to open up. People are starting to get back to their lives, and of course, as people start to get around each other and things open up, you're going to see a spike in COVID-19 cases. And now, today, it breaks that Zeke Elliott, along with other Cowboy players and some Houston Texans players, tested positive for COVID-19. And it makes you really wonder, what the hell is the NFL going to do? Is this just something that they planned on? They know that this is going to happen at some point and they'll be ready to roll? Or is this going to delay the NFL season, cancel the NFL season? Who the hell knows? But I'm hoping it doesn't. This is not what I wanted to hear. First off, hope Zeke Elliott, the Cowboy players, the Texan players, I hope they all get well soon and get through it. From what I've read, a lot of them don't even have really bad symptoms or anything like that. So you just don't know. But it's a fair question to ask. What's the NFL going to do? Because once you get players go back to their complexes and training facilities and they're around each other, at some point somebody's going to test positive. It's going to happen. It's just a numbers game, really. It's going to happen, and they have to know it's going to happen. And I hope that they have a plan, because I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know if this is going to cancel our season. I don't know if it's going to delay our season. I could see a situation where the NFL just basically delays the start of the season to like October or something like that, and maybe training camp starts in September. I don't know. But even if they go ahead and do that, they're talking about there'll be a resurgence in the fall anyways once it starts to get colder. So at some point, it seems like no matter what, the players and the NFL and other sports are going to have to go through this where people test positive. And I hope they have a good plan, because I really would hate to lose the NFL season. It just, the fall, the winter, it just wouldn't seem right without football. So hopefully they have a plan and this gets squared away, because it sucks, man. It sucks, you know. We're just starting to get basketball back on July 30th. Hockey's even coming back. Who the hell knows what baseball's doing? They're fighting over every dollar, every penny. But then the NFL, man, they were on schedule. They were on schedule, and I hope that this doesn't screw everything up. But we're going to find out. I just think that the NFL has to know that at some point they were going to bring players back and somebody's going to get it. And I hope they have a plan. At least we're still like a month and a half away before training camps even open. I think the Eagles open July 28th. So we still have some time. But I don't know. But it sucks that that's what's going on today in the NFL. That's really a big story. And I just hope that there's a season. I hope that they have a plan for this and we can get through it. But we'll see. I mean, everything at this point is up in the air, it seems. It really does. So who knows? You know, and these players aren't even out there working out at the training facilities and stuff like that. It's not like Zeke was at the Cowboys training facility working with all the players, and then he's got it. Now the whole team's got it. I don't know how they all got it, but when they open up these facilities, you know, it's bound to happen. And that's why you have, I mean, even now you have players not at the facility, but they're training with other teammates. You have our defensive line is training in Texas, and then you have our wide receivers who are out with Carson Wentz training in Houston. Now, speaking of the Eagles wide receivers, who I'm very, very excited about, I was reading an article earlier today, and they were going over every team's weakest position going into this season, and they had the Eagles wide receivers listed as our weakest position on the team. And I gotta tell you, like I said, I'm excited about these wide receivers. I'm super excited. I'm glad that Carson Wentz is out in Houston. He's working with Rager and Goodwin and Quez Watkins. And I did a video in my channel membership about Quez Watkins and how much I like him. I think he was a complete, total steal in the 6th round. If it was any other draft where it wasn't so stocked at the wide receiver position, I think he's a 3rd or 4th round pick. And I was saying that in my video. I think he's at least a 3rd or 4th round pick. He goes in the 6th round because of the depth at wide receiver in the draft, and it's paying dividends for the Eagles. He's exactly what we need. I'm very excited about Quez Watkins. And, you know, this article, they were talking about how the Eagles receivers are the weakest link, and we only use 3 wide receivers like less than 50% of the time. Well, of course, we got 2 really good tight ends. It wouldn't make sense to not have them on the field. Greg Ward Jr. is also, by the way, he's out there in Houston working out too. But, you know, if we're going to be honest about the Eagles' weakest position going into the season, it is not wide receiver. Now, they have some young wide receivers that have to improve, or have to prove themselves, rather. No question about it. You know, Rager, Quez Watkins, John Hightower, definitely they have to go out and show that they can play. But, man, they're very talented players. You have to give them at least that. They're very talented, so the talent level at the wide receiver position is way better. And then the fact that you're just getting Deshaun Jackson back and you add Marquise Goodwin, I don't understand how this is the weakest link on the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't understand Sports Illustrated at all. If we're going to keep it real and we're going to keep it 100, then look, the weakest position on the Eagles is linebacker. It's linebacker. That is the weakest position for the Eagles. And that doesn't mean that, you know, they can't go out and add a veteran linebacker, or, you know, there was talks of some trades with Rasul Douglas and a linebacker. But the truth is when I look at the Eagles, and I look at the weakest link, it's linebacker, not wide receiver. So for Sports Illustrated to say that is crazy. Okay, now, like I said, they got young guys, but they also got Deshaun Jackson back. They add Marquise Goodwin, and if they're somewhat healthy, they're a vast improvement off of last year. And as far as the linebackers go, look, we really don't have any veteran linebackers. Nate Gary, I'm not a big fan of. I think he's a very smart player. He's a good instinctive player, I guess. But he's just he seems so undersized at linebacker to me. That's just my opinion. TJ Edwards, a guy who I really like, who I think the Eagles think is a player, and I think he's going to have a pretty good year, and I'm excited about TJ Edwards. No question about it. Then you add Sean Bradley, the linebacker from Temple, who, look, I love the kid's attitude. I totally love his attitude. And then Davion Taylor, the Eagles got, what was it, the 3rd round pick. So those guys are young, but they're very athletic and they're very talented. I'm excited to see how they fit in to the linebacker role. One thing I'll say this, what I hear about Taylor is that he has unbelievable athletic ability and a skill set. He's just raw. He just needs time to develop. I think Sean Bradley and I think him having no real veteran linebackers to compete against, I think those guys have a real legitimate shot to win position, to get a lot of playing time, and we'll see what they got. TJ Edwards is going to be big for us. We need him to develop. But if we're being honest, wide receiver isn't the weakest link. It's linebacker. That's just my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section. With that said, take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.